What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Beasley. Hope you all are staying productive and motivated. I'm coming at you guys today with an Insecure Season 4, Episode 3 review. I do apologize if this video is late again. I have been working on a group project for my MBA during a time like this. And I also have a final next Monday that I've been studying for, so that's been taking up majority of my time. So, writing to this episode, I didn't get to do this last week because, like, last week the fashion didn't really stand out to me. But this week, my favorite look of the episode comes from Molly. Once again, she is serving looks. I love the way they dress her. Like, she is really channeling a modern day Tony Childs. The outfit that I really loved from her this episode was during the Thanksgiving scene when she arrives at her parents' house. She's wearing a suit that was turned into a peplum blouse. It was absolutely beautiful. Something that I haven't even seen before, to be honest. So starting off with this episode, we see Lawrence. He is in the mirror practicing for his promotion, and then Condola wakes up to that loud ass alarm. Before they start their day, they are talking to each other and basically discussing their Thanksgiving plans. And Condola tells Lawrence that she's having a Friendsgiving this year. And Lawrence somewhat invites himself to it, and Condola obliges because she's just like, okay, I mean, I guess if you want to come around, come around. So, after that scene, Lawrence, we see him walking into work. He's ready for his promotion. He's ready to give the speech and kill it. He goes to the receptionist, and the receptionist reluctantly tells him that they're going to have to reschedule because his two bosses that we saw in last season, they got pulled into a very important meeting. And I didn't understand the first time I saw this episode. Like, I didn't realize the receptionist was acting kind of funny. But now I see why she was, because in the next scene, we see Chipmunk driving Lawrence to God knows wherever. And Lawrence basically tells Chipmunk the fact that his company is downsizing. But he assures Chipmunk that his position is safe. And I completely relate to this scene because I have been working in corporate America for 2 years and I have survived 3 massive layoffs. And that was before I even got furloughed when this coronavirus shit hit. But Lawrence, you could tell, even though he's trying to save face and say that his position is secure, he's actually really nervous because he was basically a bum like the last few seasons, and he finally found his footing with this job. And he's like, damn, like if I get laid off, I can be put back at square one all over again. So during that conversation, Chipmunk then tells Lawrence that he needs to step his game up if he wants to be with Condola. Basically alluding to the fact that like you need to keep up appearances. Like you see Chipmunk driving a fucking Range Rover, a brand new one at that he can't afford. Like he hasn't made any type of he hasn't sold any houses within the last 2 months. And it's just like you're sitting here telling your friend that he needs to, even though there's a layoff going on at his job, he needs to go out and fucking fake it till he makes it, like floss. Like there there was a recurring theme of a lot of bad advice going on in this episode, and it was just like, ugh, okay, Chipmunk. So we then head and see Molly and Issa. They're going grocery shopping for Thanksgiving Day. And they're kind of telling each other about like what's been going on with them, like basically like how Molly is not over the fact that her dad cheated on her in the past, her mom. And we also get into the fact that the issues that they read each other about in the first 2 episodes, we see them two finally like kind of confront each other about like what has been bothering them about one another. Like Molly, for example, says that her and Andrew are now exclusive, even though Andrew did not say that. Like there was never a scene where Andrew confirmed that they were exclusive, and Molly wants to Molly asks Issa if it's cool to bring Andrew to Thanksgiving dinner to meet her parents, and I'm just like, once again, Molly, trying to rush this fucking dating process. Like you guys have been dating for 2 or 3 months, like why would you want to bring home somebody you only been dating for a short period of time to meet your parents? Like, I understand she's in her 30s, she's ready to like be a mother, nest, probably have the family, all that. But girl, you can't just keep rushing this shit. Like, let shit just happen naturally, girl. Like, come on. And then Molly then reads Issa about the fact that, like, why are you still okay working with Condola knowing that she's dating your ex? And Issa assures Molly that like it's not bothering her, like we're able to work through it, and I'm over Lawrence, which I feel like is a complete lie. I feel like they still have feelings for each other, and we're gonna dive into that a little bit later at the end of this review. So they then, in turn, proceed to basically just read the fuck out of each other, and then they realize like, why are we off? Like, what is going on with us? Like, you're my best friend, and I feel like I'm just losing you. And they realize the fact that like they really need to like sort out their issues, and they need to sit down and have a serious talk. And I agree with that, but the fact that they want to talk on Thanksgiving Day, a day that's supposed to be about just being happy with your family and friends, I'm just like, why would y'all want to have a serious ass conversation about that on Thanksgiving? So, right delivery, wrong fucking execution. Like, y'all need to save that shit for the next day. Like, come on, y'all just try to make shit harder than it needs to be. So Issa and her brother, we see them walking up to their mom's house. Their mom is played by Wendy Raquel Robinson. I absolutely love her in the game. She is just an amazing actress that has not aged. But yeah, they see an ambulance and they quickly run, and then they realize it's their mom's boyfriend, and they're just like, oh, they slow down, which was so fucking funny to me. But they he is basically whisked away to the hospital, and their mom wants to join them. So their mom tells them to go inside and wait for the other family to arrive, but both of them are just like, fuck that, let's go do our own thing. So we see Molly arrive to her parents' house, and she's talking to her mom. She shows her a picture of Andrew. The mom definitely approves, and the mom actually wanted him to come so that she could meet him. But it's just like, again, I disagree with the mom. Like, why rush this shit? Like, can y'all just slow down? Like I can kind of see where she gets her bad decisions from. That mom right there. And then also we see her two brothers. I don't. Is Molly the middle child? I really would like to know that, because if so, then I relate to her on many different levels. Then we see her two brothers. Her little brother is dating a girl that got pregnant from another man, and she's due to have a baby in 3 months. I'm just like, dude, really? Like, why would you want to step up to the plate to take care of another man's child? But that's on him. And then we see her other brother's girlfriend. I think that was Masika from Love and Hip Hop. I couldn't really tell. She was wearing like a tattered ass wig. I don't know, but I think that was her. Masika's cool. I mean, she's fucking annoying, but she's cool. So let's see, moving on along. We're back at Condola's Friendsgiving party. Lawrence arrived in a little fucking festive 70s looking shirt. It was like, okay. But he simply wants to make himself useful. He wants to kind of help her host the Thanksgiving. He also offers to fix her sink, which I could tell you right then and there that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Like, he just wanted to feel like he's important. Like, he just wanted to feel useful to Condola. So I'm just gonna knock out this whole party scene. During the party, Condola has this loud ass girlfriend there laughing at everything that is not really that fucking funny. Lawrence gets up and he wants to refresh everybody's drink, so he proceeds to go to the kitchen. And the loud lady follows him, and she basically like thanks him for dating Condola and really taking her mind off of her divorce. Like, she really needs to be with somebody that's just gonna be there for fun, that like really helps her just like get her spirits up. And Lawrence kind of takes that the wrong way. He's just like, oh, so he basically realizes that she's not as serious about this relationship as he is about it. Like, he again is probably just like Molly, wants to potentially have a family in the near future, probably wants to get married. And she just got out of a whole marriage the year prior. Like, she is not thinking about getting married ever again, and I completely relate, not relate, but I agree with her in that aspect. Like, take some time and heal, girl. Really, she should still be single, in my opinion, but you know, people move differently these days. So at the end of that party, Lawrence confronts Condola about it, and Lawrence is just like, why would she say that? Like, why would your friend say that if you didn't tell her that, like, I'm just a fuck buddy to you? And then Condola bounces back, well, like, if Issa didn't cheat, would you still be with her? And we don't get an answer to that scene, but basically the answer is yes. Lawrence would still definitely be with Issa if she didn't cheat. Men can't take women cheating like women can take men cheating. Like, to an extent, men, when you're dating them, they feel like you're their property, and when you cheat with another man, they feel like basically that property has been soiled and tarnished, so they want nothing to do with you. Like, it sounds a little barbaric in 1950s 50-ish, but that's how these niggas be thinking. So we switch back to Issa and her brother. They're at a Mexican restaurant for Thanksgiving. And we get to know a little bit more about the little brother, about the fact that he had two previous relationships and they just did not work out. He just like, fuck it. Like, the next person I get with, they need to love me for me. I'm not about to be bending over backwards and jumping hurdles to be with that nigga. And when I tell you, that spoke to me, bitch, because dating in the gay world is very fucking difficult. Like, even like before social media, like way back in the day, like high school, like you had to either be around people that were comfortable in knowing that they were gay, or you would find somebody that was bi-curious, like maybe like a football player or somebody that wanted to mess around. But for the most part, you kind of had to date what was in your surroundings as a gay man and figure out if that person was gay or not. It was very difficult. I never got to even date anybody in high school at all. Like, I didn't start dating until I got to college. And today, social media kind of fucked it up because now all the gays are just looking for the next big thing. Like, nobody wants to commit anymore. Like, it's hard. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, finding another gay man that wants to be in a committed relationship. So I completely sympathize and understand where he was coming from. And then we talk about Issa, and Issa finally admits that, like, it bothers her that Condola is getting the best version of Lawrence. Issa got Lawrence when he was a bum, unmotivated, wasn't really doing shit with his life, but he had the potential. Issa saw the potential, and and she knew that he was going to be great one day. And she basically met him where he was at. I mean, they were probably on the same level when they met, but at some point, Issa started to elevate more than Lawrence when Lawrence wasn't really doing shit. And that spoke to me as well because my first and only relationship was I was dating potential. Like, I was dating somebody that was doing really good, but when we got together, he fell on hard times. So I ended up basically funding the nigga's life. Like, I was taking care of him, making sure he was good, helping him get a job, helping him with his business, and then he turned around and cheated and left. And I was just like, well, what the fuck? Like, it's like you invest so much into a nigga only to realize you wasted your time and your energy and finances. And trust me, I completely understand where Issa's coming from. It's just like, damn, like, why couldn't things be good when we were together? Like, why did we have to struggle? Like, don't ever, ever fucking date for potential, and I never will do that shit moving forward. So at the end of the episode, oh, also during that scene, when Issa dropped off her brother stayed at a nice ass condo. That place was, you couldn't really see it. You got a glimpse of it, but that condo was really nice. I wonder what her little brother does for a living. But after she drops him off, like, he basically told her, like, do whatever you want. Like, you don't have to go hang out with Molly if you don't want to. Like, if you want to take your ass home, take your ass home. Like, I'm learning to not do shit that I don't really want to do. And that's something I'm, once again, learning right now. Like, I need to stop being the yes man and saying yes to all these events and all these invitations that I'm invited to because it drains the fuck out of me. So Issa, after hearing that from her brother, she proceeds to text Molly that she's not going to make it and that they need to reschedule. She said that her Thanksgiving was crazy and they need to, like, talk about their issues another time. And Molly replies, "Do you, girl?" And I was just like, I caught offense to that. Like, I got secondhand, like, irritation from that because I fucking hate when people text me, like, these short, like, 1 to 2 word answers and text. That shit is very dry to me and it makes me just, like, irritated, want to roll my eyes. Like, I honestly, text conversation can really be interpreted so many different ways. It's best to have, like, a phone call, in my opinion. But I'm a texter, so but that's what it is. Like, I just feel like, well, damn, Molly, like, y'all didn't need to have this conversation on that date anyways. Like, y'all need to pick a day where neither of you guys are doing shit, preferably a Saturday, and just talk out your fucking issues. Like I feel like them two make shit harder than it needs to be. Like they love to just complicate shit that is just very fucking simple. So at the end of the episode, we see Lawrence going through his Instagram feed, seeing how all of his friends spent their Thanksgivings respectively. Uh, Sidebar, Kelly's entire story was fucking hilarious. Like her aunts, like you could tell, like the way Kelly acts, she got it from her mom and her aunts. Like them arm wrestling, that shit was so fucking funny. And she also invited over Issa's ratchet ass neighbor. Like again, I'm glad we got another appearance from her. I want to see her in every episode. And then we see Tiffany and her gay husband, how they spent their entire Thanksgiving. And then he gets to Issa's story. And then Issa and her brother, you know, they were celebrating with the mariachi band at the Mexican restaurant. And then Lawrence proceeds to hit the laughing ha 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 emoji on her story. And then we see Issa instantly, like, it's like she was waiting to get a message from him. Like, we see her, like, the little text bubble, she's typing up something. And then the episode goes off. And I have to say, much to my disappointment, them two are going to get back together. Like I was really hoping that when they broke up back in season two, 1 or 2, that they would never get back together and they would really like try to find themselves with other people. And it's like they tried more so Lawrence more than Issa. Issa was mainly trying to heal. And Lawrence, he went on like a little dating spree, but like I don't want them to get back together. But that's going to happen. Like they're either going to cheat with each other behind Condola's back, or Condola's gonna see like that them two need to be together, and Condola's basically just the vessel that the universe used to put them two back together. Or I mean, either way this goes, I just hope it doesn't fuck up Issa's block party. Like I really want her to like succeed with this because she's been on a mission to get this block party done and it's almost in fruition. I really hope it doesn't fuck that up, but I really don't want to see them two get back together. But that's just me. If it happens, it happens. What the fuck ever. I gave this episode an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good. It was a huge improvement from last week because last week I didn't rate it, but last week was a solid 4 out of 10 for me. So that's my views on Insecure episode 3. This was a really good episode, and I really am looking forward to next week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so they can throw your boy in the algorithm, and I will come at you guys with some more content.